Hello, Fruit and Seed family. It's me. I'm here. I'm glad to be here too. It is an incredible day. It's a few minutes early. Wanted to come on here a little bit early, just a couple minutes. Hello, Miss Beverly. How are you? When you guys come on, you can let me know where you're from, and you can share this too to your page. Just coming on a few minutes early so you can be ready. Listen, get something to write with, okay? You got to get some paper, a pen. You got to get something to write with because we're going to be rolling tonight, okay? I want to make sure that you guys are ready to take notes. I'm going to get ready and share this to my page, so hold on a few minutes. Hi, Miss Jeannie. I hope you're doing okay. Sharing this to my page. Please feel free to share it. Also, make sure you get something to write with. Going to be sharing something tonight. It's going to be fun. I want you guys to chime in too. On your own little thing you tell yourself. I'm going to be sharing a little bit from my new project that I'm working on. It is just a little bit before 8 o'clock. We're going to be getting going here in a minute. I'm so glad that you decided to join me tonight. For as much as you can watch this in replay if you want to later. What is just on my chin? Oh my goodness. I call myself checking myself. All right. Anyway, I'm glad. Let me know how the weather is there. It has been a really nice day here. Our heat wave is supposed to be returning. And yes, so we gave the air conditioner a few days rest. And now it's going to be time to get it turned back on. There's my friend, Miss Betty Fisher. How are you from the Eternal Work of Love? Internal Work of Love. It is an eternal work too, but Internal Work of Love with Betty Fisher. She joined me tonight. We're going to be getting going here in a minute. It's been a while since I did a chat at night. Well, in the evening time. Yeah, I don't consider it being night until it's dark. So, I got my fan on here, my little mini fan. But if you see me fanning, that means that it's gotten hot. Hey, oh, hey. Oh, I ain't got Eb here to help me dance. So, hopefully she'll pop on us here. She will see this later. No, I'm not going to be making up no words tonight. Unless it's absolutely necessary, all right? Hey, Miss Loretta. I'm glad you decided to pop on. Get something to write with. Ink, pen, or pencil. Get some water. We're going to be getting going here in a few minutes. I am hot. I think it's just me on the inside being hot. I officially have my... Wait a minute. Let me take this Fitbit off. I'm done counting for the day. You hear me? Hey, what was I gonna say? I officially have my no glare glasses. You see this? That means, let me tell you what it means. That means I can actually read my notes. Miss Brandy, how are you, boo? I'm glad you popped on here. I hope you got something to write with. Everybody get something to write with. All right. I got to break out my fan already. Anyway, I am excited. I'm going to get going. Thank you, Miss Sunny, for popping on. I'm going to be talking about a few. Okay, this is a new project that I'm working on because I just find it just absolutely hilarious. And it's called One More Bite. It's actually called One More Bite and I'll Be Done. And all of the other lies that I told myself. So I'm just facing some new realities that I realized that I told myself a lot of lies when it came to my eating pattern and my eating behavior. There was just a lot that was going on. We try to justify chaotic eating with these lies. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to chat a little bit about it. I'm going to share a few of them. There are many, and you might want to add in your own. Hello, everybody that's joining me. You on the Fruit and Seed page with me, Lacey, Brendan. Oh my goodness, my friend is here. Oh, I was waiting for her to pop on sooner or later. Hey, and you see all this glory sweat up here? Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's see. Oh, it's 8:03. Oh, it's time to go. I'm just going to remind you guys that this little baby is still available. It is the weight loss prayers, confessions, and declarations. And don't you know, I need to go through this every day. I can't go through this enough. I'm telling you. And now I realize it. The Lord had me to write this for me. All right, you can go to my website, fruitandseed.com. And it's right there on the front. Miss Marilyn and Sherry, I'm glad you guys have joined in. Get something to write with. We're getting ready to go. Okay, we're getting ready to fly through the few that I'm going to explain tonight. Let me know if you can witness to it. If it makes sense to you, Brother Ronnie. I was waiting for you. See, that was it. I was waiting for you to come on before I started. Because I know you would understand exactly where I'm coming from, along with everybody else, okay? So, I ain't got nothing in my teeth, do I? I'm sorry. That was just a personal thing. Just roll with me. Roll with me, baby. Okay, let's go. So, girl, I'm sweating so bad. I'm sweating so, girl. Oh, all right, let's go. So, this is what I call, all right, I got to have some words. So, Romans 8:12. Romans 8:12, it says that we are debtors, but not to the flesh. We are not obligated to our carnal nature to live a life ruled by the standard set up by the dictates of the flesh. Okay, so there's a standard set up in our flesh, and I call this the OS standard, the obesity standard. And all right, you if you guys get the next book, you'll see a lot more about that. Also, a lot of these things I just coined myself because there's just no reference point for them. Now, of course, the diet, weight loss industry, of course, is a bazillion-dollar a year industry, and so the focus can be a lot on just the physical part. Okay, we just want to deal with the physical, make the physical go away, snap, crackle, pop, we're done. Well, if that chaotic standard is still in our bodies, it's still in our minds, it's still up here, guess what, boo? You're going to eat your way right back up to your way. You eat your way to your foundation. Why? Because we live out of foundation. We live out of our core, okay? Our core foundation, that's where we live. So you can lose as much weight as you want to. But if your core isn't changed, you will go back to that standard of eating. So these are just a few of the lies. Ha! And rationales that I used and found myself using here recently. And that was one of the things that really kind of woke me up to this project also, to say, now, wait a minute, you're starting to move out of these same justifications and rationales to justify eating chaotically again. So you need to deal with it, Lacey. So I have a set of 36, and I know there's a lot more. I'm not going to talk about 36. Don't be scared, okay? Because I only got, let's see, a few minutes to talk about these 5. So standard number 1, or lie number 1, okay? One of the lies that we have told ourselves, I know that I told myself when I was at my highest weight, was as long as I feel good about myself. All right, I'm going to say that again. That's a lie. That's a standard, okay? As long as I feel good about myself, it does not matter about my physical health. Well, let me tell you why that is a lie. Now, Some of you guys may disagree, and that's okay. This is just how I'm saying it, because these were the rationales that I used when I was 305 pounds. I would use this one rationale to justify staying where I was and being the weight that I was, as long as I feel good about myself. So now there is a very real movement that's going on called the body positive movement. Let me know if you understand that. Give me a thumb, give me a heart. Let me know if you know what the body positive movement is. And there's also the fat acceptance. We know people are body shamed and all that stuff. I'm not talking about the going to the degree of body shaming people or people being ashamed of their bodies. Now, the issue that I have with the body positive movement is it can be a little twisted and a little distorted sometimes. And this is why I say that. Now, it's of course absolutely in order to be okay with who you are. Okay? If you are good, happy, sane, all of that, that's fine. But where it can get distorted at is that when you begin to be okay with where you are. Now, I'm going to clap right there by myself. Anybody going to clap with me? So, it goes on to try to convince people to be happy with where they are. Now, Miss Doris Sally, I'm glad you popped on here, cuz. I don't know how long you can stay. You come back and see it later. All right, if you want to. And Miss Lee, I knew you was going to show up. I'm glad you're here. Body positive movement says be happy. Be absolutely happy about everything. But, Miss Debbie, good to see you. The thing that it does not make clear is that there are serious implications for being at a high weight. So, the body positive movement got really big and really positive, if I want to say that, coin that phrase, when I was at my highest. Miss Kathy, thank you for joining me. And I was like, you know what, shoot, I'm happy. I am happy. I'm cute and stuff. Well, listen, I couldn't walk 2 blocks. I could not do things that really made me happy. So the body positive movement, from my perspective, wanted me to be okay with who I was and with where I was. And that is the issue. Because first of all, for me, eating became a way to justify chaotic thinking. Okay? Overeating became a way to justify chaotic thinking. It was also a coping mechanism. So it didn't deal with that. And I know there's just a lot of that going on. And that's wonderful, boo. If that works for you, that's fine. So it's not a point of arguing or anything. But the reality is, if that's not where God wants you to be, you should never be satisfied with anything other than your most authentic self. Okay? The truest form of who you are, or of who he created you to be, that's when you should be satisfied. And I wasn't happy. I tried to make myself happy because I really wanted to keep the food. All right. That was a lie that I used to keep the food because I really wanted to keep it. I did. I didn't know that there was actually a place called freedom where I could actually be free from the chaos in my mind. So one of the lies that I use, remember, I used to tell myself, one more bite and I'll be done. And how many of you guys use that? Have used it recently? All right, be honest. All right, one more bite and then I'll be done. That was just one of them. And this one is, as long as I felt good about myself, as long as I pumped myself up, as long as I tried to make myself believe that I was okay. And I knew I wasn't okay. All right, I'm getting fired up kind of quick. But listen, I knew I wasn't okay. Listen, people be lying and faking the funk. Honey, you can't spank that. You can't spank that stomach in enough to be okay. I mean, you spanks it in. Honey, you can hardly breathe. You got the boobs strapped in. And for the guys, you got that belt wrenched down so tight. And you know good and well we wasn't happy. You ain't happy. And I know it. Listen, I don't know about nobody else, but I don't believe the Lord created no girdle. Anybody gonna clap with me? With me? I don't believe he created a girdle, because the Bible says that his blessing will make us rich and won't add any sorrow. Well, listen, I am full of sorrow when I wear a girdle. I ain't got no help. Ain't nobody gonna help me. Now, I'm not talking about, you want to look, just look a little bit nicer. That's your business. That's your privilege. But listen, it is 100. It's 179 degrees outside. There's my boo Roger Lane and Miss Jessica. It's 179 degrees outside. What on earth am I doing wearing Spanx? I'm about to pass out. I'm about to pass out wearing Spanx, y'all. Why can't we be free, right? So, the body positive movement is rooted in a lie, rooted in the lie that, you know what? You can continue to eat and do whatever you want to as long as you feel good about yourself. But this feeling good was padded up in a lie. It was all falsehood, okay? Now, that might not be the lie that you use, but I know I did, right? Look at Roger D. Listen, Roger D, if you ain't gonna act right on my live, you can just see your way out. This my husband on here, and he already not acting right. Yep, Spanx are not from the Lord. Cause honey, they be telling a lie on TV that it's gonna be comfortable. That stuff ain't comfortable. You be ready to kill over. Oh my gosh, no. But if you want to wear one, fine. I think I'm getting off. I think I'm bunny trailing somewhere. I need to stay on in my boundaries, on course to what I'm talking about, because I'm trying to stay in time. Oh, it's 8:15. I got to get going. All right, so that's number one. As long as I feel good about myself, and that's a lie, because I know. Okay. We're going to get to the title one. Minister Vastina, the title of this chapter, one more bite and I'll be done. We knew, I knew it. We know good and well we ain't going to be done. Hey, MINV, we know good and well we're not going to be done with this one last bite. Why do we even say it? I think we say it to try to fool ourselves. Listen, you can join in with this conversation. Tell me, why do you think we say this? Why do we think we try to trick ourselves into believing, Miss Bernadette, that all we're going to take is one more bite? One more bite and I'll be done. So this is what I think about that. Now, we know even before we start to say that sentence that hunger isn't the issue. Listen, if you be honest with yourself, all it takes is 2 or 3 bites and you're done. That's all it takes. But let me tell you this. A sweet friend of mine took me over to this restaurant. And honey, there was this lobster creamy cheese something. You know what I'm talking about. And these little pieces of bread. I am for sure that those little breads is what the manna from heaven was like. Hey, Miss Ebony, I'm pretty sure, because the manna that fell in the desert, they gathered up, they gathered it, and they baked it. I'm sure it was toasted on both sides. I'm pretty sure that was the manna bread. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I do have a Red Lobster story, but I'm gonna try my best not to tell that. Oh, that lobster bisque. Oh, I was mad at that. That's a different story, Minister Vestina. Anyway, and it was this lobster creamy, sweet, cheesy something. And honey, I went into it. I went into the meeting of the manna bread and the lobster cheese dip with the understanding all I was going to do was one. Hunties. I caught Holt, 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 to that manna bread and that lobster stuff. And I tell you what, I had to repent after I was done. It was, I really believe it was bread right from heaven. And it just wasn't fair. It was not fair. It just wasn't. So I had to get my life right after that. So hunger wasn't the issue. Listen, the appetite is the issue. The appetite is the issue, Miss Erica. I'm glad you own here. The appetite was the issue. Now, let me tell you what the appetite is. The appetite is completely different from hunger. Hunger, yep, it'll make you, yeah, I had to repent because, next time I was going to try to treat my boo to something, but I want my own by itself. But I know that, it's like 9,000 calories for the cheese and the bread. Let me focus, okay? I'm trying to focus. Okay. Focus, Lacey. So, hunger is the body's natural response to the blood sugar level dropping in your body, signaling to the body that it needs nourishment, okay? That's what hunger is. You get the growl, sometimes you get a little headache, little stomach ache, something like that. That's hunger. Now, appetite is completely different. Appetite has very little to do with hunger. Appetite has to do with your desire, lust, and greed. Do I need to say that again? Appetite has everything to do with your desire, lust, and greed for a certain thing. When your appetite is out of control, it really doesn't make a difference what it is. Most of the time, the appetite is overstimulated for other reasons other than hunger. Although it's natural to have a taste for something. But most of the time when you have a taste for something, when you get that something, your taste isn't satisfied. I'm going to try to say that again because that was good. There's nothing wrong with having a taste for something. But most of the time when you have a taste for something and you get it, your taste isn't satisfied because it has to do with your desire, your lust, and your greed. And the majority of the time, that's coming from a different place, a deeper place. Ms. Vaughn, I'm glad you jumped on here with me, honey. It's very important. We're going through these lies tonight. I'm just going to tell the truth, okay? One more bite and I'll be done. That ain't the truth. Listen, overeating, this is good. I hope you guys are taking notes. Overeating is an intentional act. Nobody overeats by mistake. You trip by mistake, okay? You overeat on purpose. We were taught how to. We were conditioned to overeat from jump. And then we taught our kids to. Now, there are a few circumstances, a few rare families where this is not the case. But for the majority of us, especially if we came from parents and people that had lack in their life. It's just what it is. How many of us really grew up in really wealthy families? Not very many. And so our view of provision was so marred and so skewed, okay? And if we came from a home that had more than 3 or 4 kids, hey, it was all you can get. And you were fighting trying to get the food that was cooked, right? So overeating is an intentional act. We overeat on purpose. As a matter of fact, you think about and you make the conscious decision to put every bite of food in your mouth. I hope this is helping you because it's helping me because I got to get some stuff straight, okay? I got to get some stuff straight in my life. Overeating is an intentional act. You overeat on purpose. Nobody can take one bite of food without thinking about it first. Sometimes it's on the nano split second decision when you decide, I'm going to eat this. Not only that, you decide, I want it all. I want it all. And I want it now. We decide. And society teaches us, you don't save any. No, you eat it all. That's why that post I put up for the holidays with this little baby crying, Do not eat like it's the Last Supper. As a matter of fact, that's what the Lord told me one time, because that's how I ate. I grew up eating like it was going to be the absolute last time I would ever eat. And I had to eat it all. I had to eat every bit of it. And guess what? I was told I had to eat it all. Yep, don't waste food. You bet not waste food. Think about them children's over in Somalia. Well, guess what? These nasty beans ain't gonna help them kids. So, we were guilted into eating a lot, right? We were made to eat a lot. We were punished if we didn't eat everything. We had the clean plate club. You had to eat it all. You wouldn't get any dessert. So you ate stuff you didn't like for the most part. Or you didn't eat anything. That was what was going on at my house, Miss Debbie. You eat it. You eat this cabbage. Which, no. You eat it or you eat nothing. So I didn't eat anything a lot of the time. But I overcompensated later. You can understand that. So, we were guilted into eating. We were made to eat. So, the one more bite, and then I'm done, lie came into place. And get this, we also use this lie. I'm sorry, guys, I'm trying to shift this around a little bit so I can make it. There you go. Also, it's so that we can shift responsibility to the next bite. One more bite, one more bite, one more bite. And we fed our babies like that too. Now listen, it's absolutely cute to see a little bitty round, pudgy, cute, big cheek, big old cute leg baby. It ain't so cute when they like 9 and 10 and they like that. As a matter of fact, it poses a lot of health issues, even for small kids. Miss Lacumas, thank you for hopping on here. And so we were conditioned in a lot of erratic ways when it comes to our eating habits, our patterns, and our behavior. We were not taught that there will always be provision. So I grew up in a home where there was a lot of fear-based eating. You better eat this, because I don't know when the next meal is coming. Anybody else? Especially you go to the fridge, open up the fridge, and you see nothing there. So there really wasn't a clear understanding that there would be provision there. And for some guys, that wasn't the case. For some guys, there were food issues in the home. And because of that, there is still, and that's it. We still carry these thoughts around with us, and we are old, not old people. We're older now, and we can still carry those thoughts around with us concerning provision. So, that one more bite, and then we're done. That one more bite, Lacey. Just one more bite. Come on, scoop this. Just get one more bite. So, let me tell you this little story. It was around Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was about a good year or so ago. Not last Thanksgiving. Yeah, maybe last Thanksgiving. At any rate, there was this lady at the Planet Fitness. She came in, and she was looking kind of puffy. And so, anyway, I asked her what was going on. She said, oh, I had all this meatloaf that I had to eat. I'm like, what you mean all this meatloaf you had to eat? And so, anyway, she said, yeah, I just couldn't waste any food. I just couldn't stand to waste any food. So I asked her, so you would have rather stuff yourself with that meatloaf that you didn't want, that you didn't like, than to throw it away? I said, so you would rather wear that meatloaf on your hips than to throw it away? I'm going to help you. It will not hurt a thing to throw food away. It doesn't make any sense to stuff our bodies with it, okay? Because we are abusing our bodies. We are committing self-harm. We're supposed to be loving ourselves. And that's what I started asking myself today. Is this, whatever this thing I'm going to do, is that, does that exemplify me loving myself or me harming myself? So Miss Debbie said she still can't throw food away. Why? We let it sit in the refrigerator, then it spoils, and we have to throw it away anyway, or we end up eating it and we're sick. So either way it goes, we're going to have to make a decision Miss Debbie, what are we going to do? Sometimes it's best to find the thing that you like and eat only that. And get away from all the stuff that we know we're supposed to eat and so healthy for us. Like, honey, I bought some Swiss chard last week. What is that? It's some very bitter, dirty, dark green lettuce. It's supposed to be good for you, but it tastes absolutely horrible. It tastes like rocks, seaweed. What else? It tastes like grass. It tastes bad. You're right, Miss Betty. We were conditioned this way. We were conditioned not to waste food. But are we doing more harm to ourselves by stuffing it in our bodies? Oh, what you laughing at with the Swiss chard? Swiss chard is horrible. I don't care what nobody. It's nasty. With a capital NAS. Anyway, let me get on with it. Okay. Y'all ready for number 3? Nasty with a capital NAS. N-A-S. Capital N-A-S. Just bad. But anyway. All right, let's get on to number 3. This is a big one. This is a big one. Maybe I need to turn my light on. Do I need to turn my light on? Did that make it better? I think so. Okay. Number 3. As long as my man, husband, wife, girlfriend like it. Yes, it's very harmful and show that we don't have self-control. Yep, you're right. We weren't taught self-control. Burger King mentality. Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce. I remember the song. Special orders don't upset us. We were taught that we could have it our way. But guess what? When we can't, then we have a fit. All right, let me get on to number 3. What I said number 3 was, number 3 is as long as my man, husband, wife, girlfriend like it. So we go around with as long as my man like this, as long as my man like my weight, as long as my woman like how big I am. She know how thick I am. I was big. I was this size when I met her, blah, blah, blah. And, all right, so a trip that me and my husband went on to Washington a few years back. I was at my highest weight. It was absolutely horrible. Oh, it was like 155 degrees every day. Every part of my body was swollen. Oh, my God. I hated that trip. It was supposed to have been the trip of a lifetime. I mean, it's supposed to have been wonderful, but it was bad. And he loved me. Yeah, he loved me. But the issue was that I didn't love myself. All right. Is anybody going to tell me about that? I didn't love me. Because if I loved me the way I was supposed to have been loved, there would have been a different treatment of my own body. So that particular lie says, or it's based on the condition of someone else's perception of pleasure or displeasure of us. I'm going to say that again. Do I need to say that again? As long as my man likes it, that's based on a condition of whether somebody else perceives it as pleasurable or displeasurable. So I was taking this in, and I knew this person loved me, but I couldn't fully give myself to him because I didn't love myself. Not to the degree that I should have, because I really believe that we treat our bodies in direct relationship with how we treat ourselves. No, we treat our bodies in direct relationship to how we feel about ourselves. So I wasn't feeling so great about myself. I had no self-worth. I had no self-esteem. I had no dreams, no goals. I didn't do anything to begin to tap into what God really wanted for my life, how he loved me. It was like, Jesus loves you. I was like, yay. No, Jesus really does love you. Yay. But it wasn't doing anything for me because I didn't love me. Now, in big group, during the morning, I've been teaching about dumping the summer slump. And I think it was yesterday, I talked about how to love your neighbor as yourself, and that we only have so much space. We only have so much room and so much time daily to give ourselves completely to a certain amount of people. Now, if I try to overexert that and do things that are outside of God's boundary, I'm going to end up tired. I'm going to end up frustrated, mad, bitter, and I'm going to leave me on the back burner. So how can I love my neighbor as I love myself? So there should be a measuring stick that says I should love my neighbor as I love myself. But guess what? If my measurement is off, I'm going to leave somebody out. Come on. If my measurement is off, I'm going to leave somebody out. And most likely it's going to be me, because, all right, this is good. So, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul. And the second is the same, love your neighbor as yourself. So this is the wrong measurement here. So let's say this is the measuring stick, and I'm supposed to love my neighbor as myself, and you see how that balance is? But guess what? If I'm loving my neighbor more than myself, it's people pleasing. Ain't that good? If I love my neighbor more than I love myself, it's people pleasing. It's a people pleasing spirit, okay? If I love myself more than I love my neighbor, it's narcissism. That's it. Give me some hearts. Let me know if that makes sense. So this is the ruler. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. If this balance is off, if I'm loving my neighbor more than I'm loving myself, that's called a people-pleasing spirit. But if I'm loving myself more than I'm loving my neighbor, that's called narcissism. So to keep the balance right, I have to love my neighbor in accordance to how I love myself. So the balance have to be kept. God, and you know what? That's what makes the cross, right? That's what makes the cross. So he says, I want you to love me with everything. Love me with everything. And I want you to love your neighbor as yourself. But if it's off, I'm going to say this again. If it's off, that's people pleasing. So I'm loving my neighbor more than I'm loving myself. And I'm trying to get my self-worth from my neighbor. I'm getting excited because this is God. If the balance is like that, and I'm operating and living out of a people-pleasing spirit, I'm trying to get my validation and self-worth from people, from my neighbor. Make sense? Now, if it's tilted the other way, and I'm working out of a narcissistic mindset, I'm trying to gather my own validation and self-worth for myself, all by myself. I'm not looking to my neighbor. I'm not looking to my neighbor. And guess what? The cross is tilted. The cross is wrong. So that's narcissism. That's people pleasing. So he says, you got to have balance in your life. A lot of times we're not operating out of balance. We're operating out of needs-based behavior. So you're operating like this. You're trying to get your validation from people. And they don't have it. So you operate out of a people-pleasing spirit. And that's what I was doing, y'all. That's how I lived. I lived operating out of a people-pleasing spirit. Thank you, Lord. Oh, this is so good. Thank you, Miss Betty and Miss Debbie. This is so good. That's where I was. I operated out of a people-pleasing spirit. I would be messed up if I thought I disappointed somebody. Oh, God, thank you. He's giving me answers, y'all. I was messed up when I thought that I wasn't pleasing to somebody, or that I messed up on an assignment, or that Roger wasn't happy because of something. I was sad. I was completely left out of the equation. There wasn't any loving myself. But listen, if it's the other way around, if I'm operating out of a narcissistic mindset. Everything is about me. And I'm trying to get my own validation myself. I'm not trying to depend on anybody else. Listen, not depend on anybody else so that the love could be equal and balanced. I'm trying to gather the love that I need for myself by myself, and my relationship with God is tilted. It's Miss Ebony, I see your shoe. Listen, it's tilted. It's out of balance. So he says that's the reason why that he said the second commandment is as the first. Because he so loved the world that he gave. So there was this balance. He was like, I love the world so much that I'm going to give you my son. So he's saying, I love my son. All right? That's the relationship between father and son. And then he said, I love the world so much, I'm going to give you my son. But narcissism says, I ain't giving you nothing. I need it all myself. Oh my goodness. And that's, oh my goodness. But people pleasing says, I'm not keeping nothing for myself. People pleasing says, I'm keeping nothing for myself and I'm giving you my everything. But nobody deserves that but our Father. He is the only one that says, I want you to give me your everything. So this is it. If you ain't supposed to give it to yourself, why is you giving it to other people? If you're not supposed to give what to you, to yourself, your all, your everything. I mean, we stay awake for other people, trying to please other people, making sure that they're okay. And we leave nothing for ourselves. We constantly put ourselves on the back burner. All right. So there. So that was number 3, right? We're talking about, well, as long as they like it, I'm okay. And I operated out of a people-pleasing spirit. I wanted to make sure everybody else was okay. I got a distorted sense of self-worth out of people-pleasing. And I'm just the one that's going to tell the truth. Is anybody else going to tell the truth on here? I had to make sure that you were okay. Because as long as you were okay, I was okay. I was okay because you were okay. Me being okay had nothing to do with me being okay by myself. I wasn't okay by myself. My father had to teach me how to be okay by myself so that I could give the love outright. All right. We talking about how to correctly live and quit depending on somebody else and saying, if you're okay, then I'm okay. No, it should be, I'm okay because I'm okay. And I'm going to pray that you be okay. But we cannot allow ourselves to be pulled into somebody else's whirlwind, especially when they don't want to come out. And we can't allow ourselves to be a part of codependent relationships that now, because you're not okay, you're going to guilt trip me until I'm pulled into your whirlwind so you can get some twisted sense, distorted, chaotic, dysfunctional, calming effect. And you be okay. You're not okay because you're okay. You're okay because I'm in the whirlwind with you. You're not okay because you're okay. You're okay because I'm in there with you. And misery loves company. All right, what time is it? I'm trying to stay on track here. That was good. Misery really does love company. All right, let's get to number 4. Number 4. This is the 4th lie that I'm going to explain. At least, this is one of the ones that I said. I'm being honest. At least I'm not as big as ... At least I'm not as big as the people on my 600-pound life. That's what I said. And you know what? A lot of people watch that to feel comfortable and there's dysfunction. Yeah, I got a fan on that one right there. A lot of people use a lot of shows, a lot of reality TV, so that they feel comfortable in their level of dysfunction. And I've heard people say, I love my 600-pound life. I'm like, why? Because it helps you feel better about the level of dysfunction that you're living in. So I did. I did say, well, at least I'm not as heavy as they are on TV. But I can remember this one time, y'all, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking and I'm hearing Holy Spirit say, that's you. And I'm like, that's not me. I'm not sitting there in bed eating all of that stuff. He said it's the exact same mentality. I was like, whoa. He says the exact same mentality. He said, listen to him. Just listen to him talk. And I listened. And I said, it is. It's the exact same mentality. At that time, I was just a few 100 pounds away. He said it's the exact same mentality. So this is what number 4 says. Comparison to make me feel better about where I was. I compared myself with other people to say at least I'm not as bad as them. You know the story in the Bible about the 2 people that went in to pray? One man was down on his face. He was a sinner. And he was saying, oh God, I'm just a wretch. I'm just a mess. And then there was this rich guy standing up. And he was like, oh God, at least I'm not like this poor sinner here. That's prideful. So even in my people-pleasing state, I had the nerve to be prideful because in my own estimation of where I wasn't as bad as somebody else. Miss Karen, how are you? That was my estimate. At least a lot of people are wishing that they were 300 pounds, Lacey. That was my rationale. That was the lie I told myself to justify my chaotic eating. And we use that in order to keep the lie in place, because the lie is giving us an instant payoff. So we get the instant payoff by eating all of the junk we wanted, when in actuality it was all distorted, chaotic eating, all of it. But I didn't want to deal with it. Who wants to deal with that? Right? So anyway, let me know if you can still see me. I'm trying to see it on my phone too. I don't know if it went out on my phone. Oh, it's still there. So anyway, all right, so let's get to this last one. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you can still see me okay. This last one, and it is 8:46. This last one, and this is a biggie. I'll start tomorrow. That's the big one. Let me know if you use that one. That is the big one. I will start tomorrow. I promise. This is the last bite. And I'll start tomorrow. I promise. I'll start tomorrow. Now, who are we really lying to? So, putting that lie in place is we're actually putting off the responsibility of now for a later date. It's easier to say I'll start tomorrow than to say and do I'll take responsibility for now and do something. We have the tendency to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I screwed up Monday, so I might as well just throw it away and I'm going to start next Monday. But Monday never comes. Tomorrow never comes. The only day that really matters is today. That's it. Tomorrow isn't even real until it comes. And then when tomorrow comes, it'll be today. It won't be tomorrow anymore. So when will tomorrow ever come? Never. But we can accept responsibility right now for where we are. Whatever we're doing, wherever we are, we can do the necessary things to accept responsibility now and not put it off. I'm going to run through this again right quick, and while I'm running through it, if you guys want to ask a question, you're more than welcome to. That lie number 1 is, as long as I feel good about myself. I talked about the body positive movement, how it can be distorted, how it can get people into some trouble too, because it tries to get us to accept who we are. That's awesome. But tries to also get us to accept where we are when we know in our hearts we're not at our best. We know, and our bodies are telling us we're not at our best. The way we feel, the way we breathe, and this has not so much to do with weight, because there's a lot of thinner people. Miss Lacumis, Sister Lacumis, if she's still on here, wrote a beautiful article, and she explains she's a fairly thin young woman, but she knows that carrying those extra few pounds have an impact on her. So we can look at her from the outside and say, oh, girl, 10 pounds ain't nothing to you. But she's saying, yes, it is, because I feel it. It's making a difference in my body. And so each person has to gauge where they want to be, where they need to be, whether or not those few extra pounds matter or not, and how you feel. She knows that's not her best. She knows that's not where she should be, where she wants to be. And she have a right to be where she feels God is saying, this is your optimum right here. We all do. So beware of that body positive movement. Some of those things are rooted in lies. No body shaming here. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about us individually realizing this ain't God's best for me. And we know it personally. Okay, number 2 was that one more bite, then I'll be done. Overeating is an intentional act. We eat crappy on purpose. We eat in accordance and in relationship to how we feel about ourselves. When I feel really good and I'm doing my work and doing my things, oh, I eat very well. But when I'm slacking, not getting enough water, not getting enough sleep, I'm feeling tired, my eating kind of starts to dip a little bit. And you can be honest with me and let me know that too. Number 3, as long as my man or my woman likes it, we're putting that responsibility and that condition based on somebody else's pleasure or displeasure of you. They can even go on and say, well, I like a little meat on your bones. Well, get your own meat and your own bones too, because this is too much for me. So that's what you can say back to people. And that's that people-pleasing thing. Remember, talking about the people-pleasing spirit and then that narcissistic thing, too, on the other end of the spectrum. Number 4, comparison. Yeah, I feel it too, Miss Betty. You're right. I feel every bit of the 10, 15, 20 pounds. I feel it. And I'm like, man, I feel the difference, because you know why? This is the first time I can actually say in my life that I'm fully embracing all of the moments, if that makes sense. It's one thing to be somewhere and you be oblivious to it. It takes on a whole different context when you're in the season and you're embracing it. And you're saying, I want to feel the moment. I want to understand. And so by doing that, like you said, Miss Betty, I can feel it too. I feel it in my body and I'm like, I don't like this. All right. So at least comparison, that's number 4. At least I'm not as big as at least I'm not as big as that person or doing that worst off. That's that comparison to make you feel better about where you are. It's also a distraction also, because you're not paying attention to where you are. You paying attention to where the other person is. At least I ain't as big as them. Or at least I don't do that. Or at least I don't do that. And it's like, what about what you're doing and where you're supposed to be, okay? And number 5, the famous one, I think everybody has used. I'll start tomorrow. I promise. I promise. Tomorrow's Friday. We have a picnic. And we have a birthday party. And I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna throw caution to the wind this weekend. And Monday, I'm gonna start. Well, there's no such thing as that. No. Remember, overeating is an intentional act. You don't overeat by accident. You think about every bite of food you're gonna put into your mouth on the nanosecond level. Bam! You think about it before you eat it. And you decide to eat it, or you decide not to eat it. And also that I'll start tomorrow is distracting yourself from taking responsibility today. You have to take responsibility today. That's just a few, y'all. This is just 5 of them that I shared, and I have another list of almost 35, 40 more of them. So that's a lot of book that I have to get to writing, and I'm gonna write through it, categorize it, explain it a little bit, and let you know that, hey, these lies are real. And you can let me know if any of these testify to you. If you can say, yep, I said that too. But make the choice to tell yourself the truth. That's what I want to leave you with, okay? Tell yourself the truth always. Tell yourself the truth. Ask yourself, am I really hungry, or am I just eating? What is it that I'm trying to satisfy that food can't touch? Because there's something in me that is hungry, and it's not my stomach. There's something in us that hungers and thirsts after righteousness. Not after chili Cheetos. But what is the thing that's hungering in us? Hungering? That's hungry? It's hungry in us. It's not our stomach. And there's a saying that if hunger isn't the issue, then food isn't the answer. I need to staple that on my eyelids. Really. If hunger is not the issue, then food is not the answer. We cannot continue to abuse our bodies. It is abuse. It is self-harm. And it is the most acceptable act of self-harm in the world. But I just wanted to share a few notes with you. Thank you, Miss Karen. Hey, Miss Cookie. I wanted to share a few notes with you. I hope that helped you a little bit. I hope you got some insight, some wisdom. It's my heart to share seed with you, to share something with you that's going to help you get better, help you think a different way, shift your perspective, and I hope that's exactly what this chat did. I'm going to wait about 5 minutes because that's about all we got. Does anybody have a question? You can ask it. I don't see no questions. Did I give you enough time? Take my glasses off because my face is sweating. Anybody got a question? Anybody got a comment? Nothing? All right. Well, it don't look like it. I hope this made sense to you. Thank you for joining me. You can go back and rewatch this, take notes. Also, for all of my people that are here in the city surrounding areas, I am going to be doing an emotional weight loss class in the month of September on Sunday evening. Sunday, relax time. Everybody can come, hopefully. I'm going to be posting some information about it in the next couple of days. You can go to the website in the next couple of days. Don't go to it tomorrow because it ain't going to be there, okay? At least give me till Monday, okay? Information will be there Monday. You can go to it, get the information, sign up for it. I'm going to be starting in September. First Sunday in September, I'm going to have an informational class. Then we're going to do the classes every Sunday after that for the month of September to get some of these deeply rooted issues concerning our eating behavior and habits to the forefront and get some healing for You're going to feel a release. You're going to be able to let go of chaotic eating when you find out why there's an issue there in the first place, okay? It's just the beginning, but it's going to be good for you and good to you also. I might be putting in place an online option also, so you guys can join us live if you would like to at a reduced rate. So anyway, it should be up on Monday, and that's going to be taking place in September. So anyway, I still don't see any questions, so I'm assuming everybody's good to go. That's going to be my assumption. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys joining. Thank you, everybody who popped on here. Like I said, this is my first one in a while at night, but it is so much fun, and I really appreciate you guys for being here and for showing up. And let's see, that's about it. So appreciate you. You have a good night. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself you ain't hungry. Just say you ain't hungry. That's it. Let's do that. All right, you can't do anything about yesterday or earlier today, but you can do something about tonight. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Simple as that. Do some work. Write in your journal. Shoot. Take a bath and go to bed. Have a good night, though. My name is Lacey. I got some fruit. Now, I just opened it up and have given you some seed. I shared 5 key points that can help you shift some things in your thinking. Now, what you do with the seed, that's up to you. I ain't got all the answers, but I know I got some that'll help you be successful. I know it will. So you have a great night, and I will see you again real soon, okay? Okay. Bye-bye.